Hello and welcome to another video of Code Rash with Gaurav. Today we are going to talk about the most happening thing that took place last week, the launch of Agent Builder in the OpenAI Dev Day. Watch this video till the end to know what is the latest news in the world of AI agents. OpenAI Dev Day 2025, which happened on 6th October 2025, made some groundbreaking launches. Sam Altman kicked off Dev Day 2025 with a keynote to explore ideas that will challenge how you think about building. There were announcements, live demos, and a vision of how developers are reshaping the future with AI. The presentation showcased live demos of apps within ChatGPT and AgentKit for streamlined agent building. Further announcements include updates to Codex and new AI models, GPT-5 Pro, and Sora 2. The most promising of that was the AgentKit. In this video, we are going to look at what AgentKit offers and should you be excited about it? AgentKit is a complete set of tools for developers and enterprises to build, deploy, and optimize agents. Until now, building agents meant juggling fragmented tools, complex orchestration with no versioning, custom connectors, manual AVL pipelines, prompt tuning, and weeks of front-end work before launch. With AgentKit, developers can now design workflows visually and embed agentic UIs faster using new building blocks. Let us head to the official documentation of AgentKit on the OpenAI.com website. Let's look at the building blocks of the AgentKit. Agent Builder, a visual canvas for creating and versioning multi-agent workflows. Connector Registry, a central place for admins to manage how data and tools connect across OpenAI products. ChatKit, a toolkit for embedding customizable chat-based agent experiences in your product. AgentKit also improves evaluation capabilities with new features like datasets, trace grading, automated prompt optimization, and third-party model support to measure and improve agent performance. Let us take a closer look at the Agent Builder. Design workflows with Agent Builder. As agent workflows become more sophisticated, developers need better visibility into their inner workings. Agent Builder offers a visual canvas that lets you design logic through drag-and-drop nodes, connect tools seamlessly, and set up custom guardrails. It includes support for preview runs, inline evaluation setup, and complete version control, making it perfect for rapid iteration. If you have used n8n or Zapier before, you have already seen such Agent Builder before. You get a drag and drop kind of an interface to design your workflow with minimal coding required. Now that the Agent Builder is embedded within the OpenAI offering, tools like n8n and Zapier are up for a serious competition. OpenAI demonstrated, live, how to create an agent with the Agent Builder in 10 minutes. Let us review that together. Agent Builder is now available for all developers. And like any workflow, it has a start node. From start node, you have many connectors like file search, guardrail to validate the input, branching logic, LLM, RAG, connection to external MCP tools, etc. Here we begin our start node with an agent, and we are calling it a classifier agent. We are giving a system prompt to the agent, which generates a JSON-based output to find whether the user is asking about a flight information or looking for itinerary. We can choose the model, reasoning parameter, or any tools we want to connect our agent to. We can also define at a fine-grain level what properties we need in the output. Here we are saying that we should get a classification as one of the enum values flight info or itinerary. Using this classification now, we can decide conditional flows in our workflow based on whether the query is about a flight info or travel information. For doing that, we are adding an if-else node, and let's define the conditions. If the classification agent tells us that the query is about a flight info, let's add a flight agent to handle the request. For the agent logic, we are relying on the web search tool so that we get the latest information from the internet. Now for the else part, where we need to handle the itinerary. Let's add another agent to handle it. Here we don't need any tool. We are just relying on GPT-5 model training data, and the output will be in the text format. To test our workflow, we can just click on the preview button and a chat input opens up where we can send our query to the start node. Based on our query, the classification agent did its job, and here we see an itinerary for a day in Tokyo. For visualizing the flight information in a better way, let's add a widget. The widget markup is already prepared via the Widget Studio, and we are just going to copy the code from there. So the whole widget code can be downloaded from the studio and uploaded in the widget section of the output of our flight agent. Here we are just adding a little tweak in the system prompt that we want a creative color to be added to the widget based on the destination. And now we should be good to test our flight agent. Let's hit preview again and provide an input such that our classification agent marks it as a flight info query. While preview, you can notice how the current active node is highlighted in the workflow builder. So our classification agent does its job, and we landed on the flight agent, and we have our output as a widget. Once we are happy with the output, this is the best part of the agent builder. One-click deploy. Yes, you got it right. OpenAI provides infra to host and run your workflow on demand. Either you get the pro code way of running it via the agent SDK, or you can just use the workflow ID. And that is it. We saw how to build our first workflow using the agent builder. Let us take a step back and recap what we learned about building scalable agents in production in our last video. The link is in the description if you have missed that one. Do you really think such a workflow can have all the guardrails, observability, performance, and scale that we need for a production-grade agent? Well, the answer is maybe not. If you're looking for a quick win and want to start immediately with little knowledge of writing agents with code, a simple workflow builder is a blessing. That means anybody can build an agent now, which is a great thing. But for a scale, edge cases, observability, you will surely have to do something extra on top of it. Can you guess what this workflow builder is up against? LangChain. Yes, and in Not Another Workflow Builder, Harrison Chase explains why LangChain has refrained from building a visual workflow builder tool, despite widespread demand, and lays out the directions the team is more interested in pursuing. Many non-technical users and organizations want a drag-and-drop visual interface to build agentic applications, eye-connecting LLMs plus tools, without writing code. The idea is that domain experts, not just engineers, would be able to assemble the logic of agents or pipelines themselves. Some companies, e.g. Langflow, Flowways, N8N, already built such tools. And OpenAI recently revealed its own workflow builder at Dev Day. Chase draws a distinction between workflows and agents. A workflow is a structured graph or sequence of operations with explicit branching, parallel paths, and predictable logic. An agent, by contrast, uses an LLM in the loop to determine which tool to call next. Its decision logic is embedded in prompts and reasoning, making it more autonomous, but also less strictly predictable. Problems with visual workflow builders. Chase argues that visual workflow builders suffer from two main shortcomings. They're not really low barrier to entry. While intended for non-technical users, they still require understanding of branching, node logic, conditionals, and tool chaining, which is non-trivial. They break down under complexity. As workflows grow more elaborate, multiple branches, parallel paths, nested logic, the visual graph becomes messy and hard to manage. At a certain complexity threshold, the interface becomes a burden rather than a benefit. LangChain blog. Thus, visual workflows tend to be usable only in relatively simple scenarios and become unmaintainable in more involved ones. Chase proposes that visual workflow builders are under pressure from both simpler and more complex ends. For low-complexity tasks, no-code agents, iPrompt plus tool interfaces are likely a better fit than visual workflows. As LLMs become more capable, many tasks previously requiring branching logic may be handled by prompting and agent orchestration directly. For high complexity tasks, you need code. Complex branching, modularity, parallel paths, these are best managed via code or a graph DSL. LangChain's own LangGraph is meant for this kind of use. Rather than join the crowd of workflow builders, the post argues that the interesting problems now are how to enable reliably good agents in a no-code environment, i.e. letting users compose prompt-based agents without writing code. How to improve code generation models so they can author LL-empowered workflows or agents automatically. In other words, instead of building another visual workflow tool, LangChain is more interested in lifting up agent abstraction, prompt design, tooling, and generation capabilities that make agentic systems easier to build and maintain. So what do you prefer? Tell me in the comments. A cool visual builder for a workflow or an agent built with code knowledge and curated to handle production volumes and data? The answer really lies in where the fun is for you. And that's it for this video. Do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a good one.